Hola, buenas. Estamos de vuelta con una conversación súper divertida e interesante. Y esta vez os traigo una periodista, blogger, instagramer y amante del shoegaze, Kamola, de Tape Wounds. En esta charla hablamos sobre el iPhone Venus, sobre cómo nos ha influenciado y ayudado en nuestra vida personal. Y hacemos un scroll completo de su discografía. Espero que os guste muchísimo. Y si es así, dejad un like y un comentario para seguir trayendo estas entrevistas y conversaciones que tanto os gustan. Antes de irme, quería pediros disculpas por la demora en subir vídeo. He estado de mudanza a un nuevo piso con todo lo que eso conlleva, además del tiempo que requiere establecerse en un nuevo domicilio tras la mudanza. De nuevo, muchas gracias por todo el amor y cariño que siempre dais y que disfrutéis de la charla. Chao, chao. So, actually, like I had, as I told you just yesterday, I had like a couple questions that I want to ask you, so you can explain to the my audience, um, some more personal stuff about you and all this stuff. So, first of all, for those who don't know you, would you mind like introducing yourself?
My name is Kamola, but I'm known on the internet as In Her Shoegaze
Mhm.
blog under the nickname of In Her Shoegaze. And it's a quite a new blog. I write about mostly shoegaze music. Um, yeah, that's probably it. I'm a huge music fan. I'm a music addict. I
Yeah,
know if I can call myself a music nerd, I guess I'm not that nerdy, but I just really like my music.
yeah.
And I had this urge, to write about it or to exchange my thoughts about it
Mhm.
with other people. And that's where I am now.
Nice. So you are like me, like we just enjoy the music that we listen to, but we are
Yeah.
not like that type of people that they are like listening to every music of the universe, you know?
Yeah, that's true. No, I mean, I listen to all kinds of music.
Yeah, same
Like I
here.
listen to all kinds of genres, probably except country.
Okay.
I can connect with country music so much, probably because of my background. I didn't grow up in this cultural environment,
Mm-hmm.
but generally I listen to everything. And I think it's the most important thing in music is the emotions I'm getting from it. And it could be anything, it
Yeah.
could be jazz, it could be pop music, it could be jazz, it could be anything,
Any music that
actually.
makes you feel like emotions in some kind of way, right?
Right,
We share
yeah.
that and we share that. And like in your Instagram bio, you describe yourself as a journalist as well. So which is clearly reflected in your posts. Will you mind like sharing more about your background and professional experience in journalism?
Yeah, I studied journalism professionally. I worked as a journalist for some time in my home country until the point it was very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So back then it was a difficult political situation, and journalists weren't allowed to report, on what's going on in the country. So I'd say I was kind of forced to
Yeah.
quit journalism, but you can never quit journalism. Once a journalist is always a journalist, so at
Yeah.
least mindset is always there.
You even have that mindset, right, to create your own post. Like, is there a way, I guess, to keep going with your main job, but combining it with your musical taste or with your hobbies and everything, right? It's like a bit.
Yeah, yeah. Right now, it's definitely a hobby
Mm-hmm.
because I always had this urge to write. I just didn't think I could write about music.
Mm-hmm.
That's something new to me. And I'm really enjoying doing that. It's my passion. It's something I'm totally invested in. And I definitely do that as a side gig, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't mind, if I could earn from it someday.
Yeah.
That would be like a dream job. You get to listen to your favorite music and write about it and make a living out of it. That
Yeah.
would
That
be,
will be a really that will be a
yeah,
dream, actually. Same here.
Yeah,
Like I wish I could quit my actual job and
right.
just put in the all my free time in this, so I can like making everything that I really like and actually earning money from it. It will be like amazing.
Yeah.
So we share that as well. Like like as you say, like shoegaze is the main topic. Well, mostly, no, topic in your Instagram account and posts. Like I want to know what is your story about discovering this musical genre, and how does it influence you in your daily life?
Um, I've made this reel on my account about how Lost in Translation introduced shoegaze to a whole new generation,
Mm-hmm.
and of course that includes myself as well.
Yeah.
Um, Probably that was the first time I was really exposed to shoegaze when I watched that film.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that it was called shoegaze back then. I was just fascinated by this fuzzy sound of My Bloody Valentine, this iconic scene where Scarlett Johansson is riding a nightcap and sometimes is playing. This was a
Mm-hmm.
revelation to me. I was
Mm-hmm.
frozen for a while and thinking, wow, what's this music? It's like a warm blanket,
Yeah.
making me feel so warm, so nice, embraced. And that's probably first time when I said, I want to listen to music like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would say that was my first encounter with shoegaze. I mean, I didn't start listening to shoegaze immediately because I
Yeah.
didn't know it's called shoegaze in the first place, and I didn't know that it was My Bloody Valentine. I knew nothing. It's only later I found out that it
Mm-hmm.
was My Valentine. And then I think in 2017, I heard Slow Dive for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Also, not knowing it's shoegaze, not knowing any background of Slowdive, it was their 2017 album, and the first song I heard was "Sugar for the Pill,"
Mm-hmm.
and this became like probably song of the year in 2017. I played
Sure.
it maybe 5 times. Yeah, so that was my first baby steps in shoegaze,
Mm-hmm.
and just maybe only a couple of years ago, I really started like deeply digging and diving into shoegaze, like researching, reading, watching all the YouTube videos and reading books, and just listening to all the random Spotify playlists
Mm-hmm.
and discovering music like that.
Yeah.
Only then I was like, yeah, I'm now a shoegaze fan.
Yeah, I think we share that background as well. Like the first time that I listened to shoegaze, that for me was like I didn't know as well that it was like a whole genre, like there's like a whole culture behind it. My first experience with shoegaze was as well with Slowdive the first time, but for me, the first song that I listened to from Slowdive was Sleep. That is a song that is like a demo that they didn't even release it, and people in the internet were like remastering on the song and posting it online like with a different name so people can enjoy the song. For me, it was the first song that I listened to from Slowdive, and my first experience in shoegaze. Then I discovered as well My Bloody Valentine, Cocktail Twins, Weir, Tangerine Wheel, like all the main influences in shoegaze as well, and then that we are gonna talk about it later. But then I discovered Life on Venus in the same way that I discovered Slowdive, because
Nice.
like I don't know if we share that as well, but I discovered Slowdive through a compilation on YouTube that it was like a shoegaze compilation. For me, it was like I always I was always watching YouTube videos talking about specific genres, and when I discovered that that was called shoegaze, I want to do some research, and then I discovered the compilations of shoegaze in YouTube, and then I discovered Slowdive, like the sleep song at the beginning. Then was My Bloody Valentine as well, Life on Venus. That like my first experience with Life on Venus was For the Kill. That maybe is the most known song for them? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's definitely their most famous song. That's exactly how I discovered Life on Venus, and there was some random playlist on Spotify, like
Hmm.
Sugar's playlist, and that was definitely for the kill. And I think I was like, wow, that's an interesting sound.
Yeah.
And I guess from there I started like following and then checking all the rest of their discography.
Yeah, same here. So we discussed this like right now, but I want to know like what are your main sources of inspiration when creating your post or even in your uh past but main job, like which bands or artists influence yours significantly in your daily life, in your professional or creative work? I want to know that.
I think that would be Whir. I'm a big diehard Whir
Nice,
fan.
nice.
And you know this, I mean, I try to write about every like yeah, about different genres and different bands, but you'll always find in my stories something about Whir because I'm totally obsessed, you know.
They're amazing.
Yeah, that's probably my most favorite band that inspire me um, to just be, you know, in this shoegaze music. And yeah, I mean, my inspiration, I would say it's mostly spontaneous. When I do something, it's just
Hmm.
spontaneous. I don't plan anything. I still approach it as a fun side gig, you know, something
Yeah.
I do like beside my other daily things. Probably, you know, if I could play an instrument, I would probably would have been already in some kind of a band.
Hmm. That would be
That's
super
how I
nice.
would, you know, relieve my stress or yeah, that the way I do things on my blog is just like I want to have fun, you know. I want to try out this, I want to try out that, or like why not talk about this?
Hmm.
It's really nothing like thought out or really planned. It's just
Hmm.
me having fun with my music, hoping it will resonate with other people, with other music fans like me.
Yeah, and also can be different. Like every time that maybe if I ask you the same question next year, you can tell me on a totally different band. Like as I always say, like the music also comes when when you need the music the most. So it's
That's
like a natural way to discover music, and also I don't know if we share that as well, but every day like I have a totally different artist, totally different album, and totally different song. Like it changes every day, and that's because it depends on the mood and the situation that you are going through in that stage of your life. So maybe your inspiration today could be, as you say, weird, but maybe in the next couple weeks can be another band that you discovered and is your favorite one. So it's like as you said, like something that is really natural and not planned at all, actually.
yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Hmm. So this is more related to your journalism work that I want to ask you, just if you want to talk more about it. But what initially motivate you to pursue the career in journalism?
Um, let's say it like this, I was very bad in math at
Hmm.
school.
We share that as well. And even I'm a science guy. I'm a programmer. So.
Okay. Yeah, I was really bad at math, but I had this brilliant English language teacher.
Hmm.
She was really good, motivating. She always gave this homework and like non-standard homework, you know. She always said like write a short essay about this or that, like make up a story. And once I even wrote a play for a school theater entirely in English. That was a Halloween play.
Hmm.
And I remember the feeling when it was performed on the stage and everybody was laughing because there were a few jokes or a few funny moments. That's when I realized, you know, I have this power like
Hmm.
of writing something that could influence someone. That's probably first back then I was, maybe I should write more.
Hmm.
So probably at the age of 11 or 12, I went to this newspaper for youth for for teenagers, let's say.
Hmm.
And I said, I want to write something for you. And I said, I want to be journalist. And I don't know, I was probably 12. And they say, okay, like bring your first article. And I don't remember what it was, but I wrote something and I brought them and they said, okay, we're going to publish it. And here is your money, by the way. I'm like, wow.
Nice. So you were a journalist even before start studying journalism.
Yes, yes.
It's
I
crazy.
started writing for this newspaper when I was a teenager. And then it was kind of obvious to me that that's the path I want to pursue. I wasn't aware of hardships, like political,
Hmm.
connected to political situation. But I just knew that I want to write, and then I had this literature in school where we would be also forced to read, all this heavy
Yeah.
classical books, and then we would have to write essays, about characters, about their motivations. So
Yeah.
I would write up like pages and pages, of those reflections. I think that shaped me a lot, shaped me my thinking, like making connections in my brain. So yeah, when it was time to go to university, I knew I want to be a journalist. So I
It's
just
amazing that you had it like really clear when you were younger, because like for maybe more than 90% of people, when we are that young, maybe when something is like really suitable for us, like maybe I was a I started playing video games when I was 3 years old or something like that. So for me, I was really clear about what I was going to do in the future in a way, right? Something related to computers or whatever, and that's why I became a programmer. That's the main thing. Like I've been working in that like since I was like really really young. So it's amazing that the fact that we actually um, have something clear when we are young, because it's really difficult that a young boy or young girl, they are like super clear or of whatever they are gonna make or work in the future, because in everything, the mindset changed a lot, because I'm still young. I'm 24 years old, so I don't feel that transition like super real. But most kids nowadays are like, what are you gonna do when you grow up? And they are like always talking about something related to internet, social media. That is totally fine, but the mindset changed a lot. And at the same time, people are like struggling for of wanting to know what they want to do when they grow up. even
yeah,
even even the mindset changed a lot. Like nowadays it's super different. Like when I was 12, even people were like, well, I want to be a football player, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a doctor, whatever. But nowadays the mindset changed a lot. And also, maybe I don't know, because I don't have that mindset. But maybe, I don't know, maybe nowadays, like everything changed a lot. Maybe people are like more clear about what they want to do when they grow up. Like, I don't know, but it's crazy that transition actually. And
yeah,
it's great that you actually could work as your future job, like before even studied. So imagine that I would love to, I would have loved, like to do the same, to do the same thing. So I had like more background behind me, even before starting the job that I was going to do. So that was
yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah. I write since I just remember I can write.
Yeah,
So yeah, I wrote poems as well
nice.
when I was younger. Yeah, so ended up publishing it in a book. Like there was this publisher's house. They did a compilation of young poets.
Mm-hmm.
So they published my poems there, which was a highlight for me. I mean, I was in this journalism university. I was more like, old-fashioned style of teaching. Like they would just, older teachers, older generations who had no idea about like real journalism reporting, right? So those were people coming from Soviet Union. So, and we know that in Soviet Union there wasn't real journalism.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't want to go very much into political stuff,
totally
but
fine.
what I'm saying is, yeah, I knew that I don't want to be that kind of
Yeah,
journalist. So I did a lot of studying on my own, and I went to all those workshops for journalists, and I traveled a little for those workshops that were outside of the country. I was pretty much set, yeah.
that's so nice. And there is something that I want to ask you as well, because in journalism, it's really like di- difficult and hard to not applying all the time your perspective about some topic. So how do you maintain objectivity while still, preserving your own voice and perspective?
I mean, when it comes to writing about music,
Mm-hmm.
I very much write things from my own perspective
Okay.
because I think, well, I'm not magazine, and I think music is a different field where probably your own opinion or perspective or your own perception is appreciated.
Yeah.
I think if you would report on music in a very neutral style without applying your own opinion,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be boring for people to read. Probably they're coming exactly to read what you think about this.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, when I'm writing about music, it's very much personal. I,
Mm-hmm.
I write it from my personal perspective, because music is very subjective.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to write it in an objective way. If I would hate shoegaze, I would never be able
Sure.
write about shoegaze because why would
Exactly. Yeah.
I wouldn't be able even to listen to it. And I know actually there are people who can't stand shoegaze, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Like there,
That's the beauty of music. Yeah, there is music for everyone.
that's it. So maybe this is like um, really tough question in some kind of way. Maybe you answered this before, but like, what do you think? What responsibility do you believe that journalists have in today's society?
Um, like if we are talking outside of music,
Yeah.
it's more important than ever, I would say, because we have social media
Mm-hmm.
and everyone is a specialist. Everyone have
Mm-hmm.
their opinions, and it's very easy to to misspread information.
Sure.
So I think being a trained professional journalist is more important than ever,
Mm-hmm.
because when you know your profession, you have your experience, you know how to report news in a way that you don't tell, let's say, fake news.
Mm-hmm.
The problem nowadays is a lot of fake news, and we have artificial intelligence, so it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's journalism. And generally, I think the audience isn't getting more, I say, intellectual or smarter. Tendentially, people are getting lazier, so they
Yeah.
don't read huge texts anymore. Like, I'm not talking for everyone, but
Yeah. Generally. Yeah.
yeah, they don't read all those, I know, huge articles.
Yeah, they just they are just fine with getting like just a sentence of something of a news or something, and they are like okay with it, and they don't even make some research. That is something that I guess that's really lost nowadays. I really miss when people like I'm not, as I said, I'm really young still, but I saw like people um when they are talking about something, like even reading books, doing some research about some topic, and not like getting just their opinion, because this is something that is happening like since a lot of years ago, like since the beginning of the world even, like that we are just comfortable with the opinion that we have, and we are not usually like open, we are not in general open-minded about discovering new perspectives about some topic. It's really
No.
difficult that people that like read something and they're like, well, I'm not okay with it. I'm going to do some research and I'm going to understand this perspective. That I guess that is the most problematic topic nowadays in general. Like not understanding other perspectives and doing some research about it, because that that opinion or that perspective can be really dangerous, but it doesn't mean that you won't read about it and even being interested about it, just to know why they think that way or why they have that perspective. And I think that's the main problem nowadays with people in general. Like they don't do research at all. I'm talking about in general. But yeah, that's what do you think about it? Like for me, it's a real problem like nowadays.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. And as I told you, probably it's because people are getting lazier, it's just convenience. You go to social media, you watch a short reel and you see and you understand
Yeah,
what's happening. As I mentioned before, everyone can be a journalist now. Everyone has a mobile phone, everyone can film it, everyone, there are so many opinions about things. And I just think it's up to probably also parents, upbringing their children is
yeah,
um, to teach them to see the right from wrong in the first place.
yeah. Education is the main thing.
Yeah, right. So I think when you just start thinking independently, you can see if someone is trying to manipulate you.
Hmm.
I guess you just have to get a good education,
Yeah,
to have critical thinking. That's a
that's what I
basic.
was thinking. Like the critical thinking is something that you get tough in at home. And there is something that it evolves and improves and gets better like within the years, right? And there is something like it's really difficult to have people with critical point nowadays. I mean, with critical thinking nowadays. And I don't know, it's something that, as you said, is like education mainly at home from your parents and all that stuff. And um and after that, it's something that you cannot even, it's like, as you said, it's something that you get educated at home, but sometimes as a young boy that I am, it's really difficult to keep going on that direction, because when you go out, you see that parents are like giving phones, giving electronic devices like really early to their
Yeah,
children.
yeah,
So
yeah.
how can they can get that critical thinking if they just made their opinion based on what they see on social media? It's really difficult.
I think, yeah, it's a very tough question. I would say it's extremely, it's tough. Like on the one hand, you can tell parents just don't give mobile phones to your children, keep
Yeah.
them away from any social media for as long as possible. But unfortunately, the reality is different. Parents are always they're exhausted
Mm-hmm.
too. They have burnout too. I mean, if we start talking about this, we'll of course go
Yeah.
very far away from music. But I think my point is just probably teach your kids kindness in the first place.
Sure.
And I think it's easier from there. If you just have
Mm-hmm.
your basic human values, it's going to be much easier. You'll probably figure out all the other stuff, along the way.
Yeah, they will understand and learn about it later. But mainly they should get that main basic values, human values, to know to improve and get better and and evolve into something more with someone. I mean, someone with more critical thinking, and that's it. So moving on to this same, I have two more questions about your work.
Yeah.
For you, you told me a little bit about it, but what has been, the most challenging moment in your career so far?
If we're talking generally,
Hmm.
The challenging part, of course, was leaving journalism. I had to switch to public relations, which was less dangerous for me as a
Hmm.
person. And I really, I missed it. I really missed it since then. And actually, I'm happy that I can write again, or I could call myself a journalist again.
Yeah, that's amazing that you actually can use your word skills to something that is more related to the things that you like. So
Exactly.
you don't lose, sorry, you don't lose that old stuff, and you are like keep working on it.
Right. Yeah.
That's so amazing. And the last one about this your work and everything. How do you balance emotional involvement with professional distance?
I couldn't catch it. Could you repeat it again?
Yeah. How do you balance the emotional involvement with professional distance? Like it, that question is like, how do you actually, talking about journalism in general, maybe, but we can talk about music as well. How can you, balance that emotional involvement that you make in the writings and the work that you do with professional distance? Because like as we said, there's like some subjective perspective, maybe talking about music, but maybe in general, talking about journalism, it's more
Yeah,
difficult.
it is. It is. I mean, after all, we are all humans,
Hmm.
we have empathy. And yeah, but as a journalist, when you do this for a long time, you learn this. It's part of your professional skills to stay, calm and just to do your job. It wasn't always easy for me because the topics I reported, they were focused on people,
Hmm.
I did reportings on LGBTQ community,
Hmm.
and then you hear stories, and it's very difficult, to stay to stay calm or to stay indifferent. But yes, in the end, when you're trained, you just do your job. When I'm writing about music, it's complete opposite. I apply all my
Yeah.
feelings. I allow myself to feel everything I feel. And that's probably something that makes me feel fulfilled.
Hmm. So it has to be really difficult as well. That is something that you maybe trained it, but it has to be really difficult, when facing different opinions on the things that you write, because there are some, we can say, close-minded people that they can say some bad stuff about your work or whatever. And how do you face it? Like maybe it's because of every experience that you had, that you learn about it, and you are like more professional about facing opinions. But how do you feel about, is it difficult, right, to face different opinions, and mainly opinions that they are like dangerous, because some opinions are really dangerous about society and all that stuff.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Mm, but yeah, you always have to keep in mind there are different people with different backgrounds,
Mm-hmm.
and we can't judge them, straight away because we don't know them, we don't know their story, we don't know where this opinion comes from.
Yeah.
And in journalism, it's about giving a chance to speak, even if you don't agree with this opinion. As a journalist, it's really important to give this other side
Mm-hmm.
their platform, to speak. And then it's up to the viewer or reader to decide
Yeah.
if they want to accept this opinion or not.
Yeah, it's really difficult because as you said, like they have different backgrounds, different opinions, different perspectives. But when I hear that, and you receive all, maybe you receive that dangerous opinions in the, answering to maybe your work and everything, I always think like, if you think that, like why they don't just think the same way, and they don't give that shitty opinions before before doing it.
Yeah.
Like I think that we should have more that type of philosophy, like to think think things before even say them.
Right.
That's the main thing. So if you want to, I was going to move to the life on Venus stuff. That is well, everything is the main stuff, but the main
Yeah, I
idea.
totally agree. Let's do it. I can't wait.
Okay, so I have like annotations on every part of the discography that is not really long, fortunately. And well, firstly, I want to introduce, because maybe some people don't know about this band, and I don't know why they should. Uh, so I can say like a brief introduction about Life on Venus, if you don't mind, and we can
Sure.
move to the discography and making some and discussing about each part of it. Like, well, Life on Venus is a band formed in 2016, if I'm not wrong, in Moscow, Russia, and they blend like dream pop, shoegaze, and one genre that for me they represent the best. That is something called dream gaze. The band is formed by Dimitri, who is the main singer of the band and also the best player nowadays. He was the guitar player at some time with Oleg, that is the main guitar player right now. And finally is Julia, that is the drummer of the band. Well, moving, like to their discography. I didn't know this until I was like doing some research, but they released the debut EP called Distant Lights in 2016, and they had like two songs, if I'm not wrong, called Kingdom of the Day and There Will Be No Blood. That was like first versions, if I'm not wrong, of the songs that they were gonna be releasing later in Encounters.
Encounters, that's correct. Yes, that's correct. These are exactly these two songs that ended up being on Encounters, which is their debut album.
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, well, for me, these two songs, and later we can discuss it about about Encounters. These two songs and the album Encounters are like the main representation about what they wanted to do, talking about sound, right? Like Encounters has like a really unique vibe, like a dreamy, gloomy, super smooth. And for me, I was gonna talk about it later, but like for me, this album Encounters and these two songs as well feels like some Japanese shoegaze band did this album. Like
Yeah,
it has that smooth and dreamy and gloomy vibes that like maybe some other band. I don't know if you know this band, Soft Surf, that they are from Japan. They do
okay.
like this type of shoegaze as well. It sounds like really similar. I don't know if because I have that other reference with Soft Surf, but I feel that. I don't know if I want to ask you about this. Which these two songs are like the first versions of the song that will be in Encounters. Which version of the songs do you prefer? Like,
Yeah. I think they sound really well in the album. Like they sound as a part of one big story.
mhm.
And I definitely prefer them as in their debut album.
Yeah,
But
and
when you listen to them, I mean, I didn't have this chance, I didn't follow them in real time.
same.
But I imagine if I heard this for the first time, probably that would be my favorite version of it.
Yeah,
But
as
yeah,
we say, we discovered it later. And for me, sadly, I discovered with the song For the Kill, because sadly, we can quote that because in Encounters I can find, I don't know if you feel the same, but I can find one some of my favorite songs from their discography as well.
yeah. I mean, if we are going to talk about Encounters in general as an album, it's a sensational debut album, like for a band that just, I wouldn't say came out of nowhere. That would be completely incorrect. But we are talking about shoegaze.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that popular. And if we like go back to 2000, I know 16 or 15, when they were just forming as a band, nobody knew about them internationally. I think many international fans discovered them later, like you and me,
Yeah.
coming across these very famous songs like For the Kill, or then probably later Stranger Times.
Yeah. It's amazing.
But
Like as you said, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
yeah, yeah, no, no, sure, you can go on.
No, I was going to say that it's amazing, as you said, that that not a lot of bands nowadays can say that their debut is like one of the best albums of the discography. Maybe we can say it with Slow Life as well, because their first full length album, So Blacky, for me is like their best stuff. With the album that they did in 2017, that it has for me like one of the best songs of them as well. So Blacky is like the for me is like the representation as well. That mm, a band can do like a really good job in their debut. Even they had like different DPs before, So Blacky, different demos and all that stuff. For me, it's like the some another reference. Like talking about great debut albums. And also, the production, the mastering and mixing in this album is like amazing. Like it sounds like really, it's like a hug. Every song is like a hug, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if you have read this. I've been when I've been researching about the debut album, I came across an interview where they were telling how they recorded it. And it's like do it yourself style. They use the help of friends,
Mm-hmm.
it was pretty much everything, put together by themselves without big outside help. And I think the fact that they could pull it off so beautifully, it's amazing.
Yeah, and it's mainly like the production. Like lately, for me, in Oats to the Boy, they changed the vibes. Maybe they were like darker in Oats to the Boy, but later in Homewards, as we talked about it yesterday, it's like a beautiful combination of the sounds
Yeah.
that they made in Encounters. Like some songs I really like that vibe, and then we have at the same time some songs like with the Oats to the Boy vibe. It's like the really good combination of what they may been doing in the past. There is a band also called Deaf Heaven. I don't know if you have heard about them. It's like,
Of course, that's one of my favorite bands.
yeah, it's black gaze, right? And so they were like in the beginning, the debut album. I don't know if it's called Some Father, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
They
yes,
made
that's correct.
they made like a dreamy, shoegazy black gaze, and combined with blast beats and all that stuff. And then they made an album called Infinite Granite, that is like something more softer, more chill, that the audience didn't like a lot, but it's one of my favorite albums of all time. And
I
then
agree with you. It's one of my favorite albums from Deaf Heaven, even though their diehard fans totally didn't accept it,
close-minded people.
rejected this. And I don't know if this is true, but I've heard from a friend that they even received death threats for this. Like,
I don't know, but that's crazy actually.
that's a crazy story. It's a beautiful album, though. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they released it like last year, the Lonely People with Power album, that is like, it's like the Homewords. It's like a combination of what they've been doing in the past
Yeah.
mixed with the softer sound of Infinite Granite. So there's like so, that I wanted to mention that the reference, because like you can relate when you listen to Death Heaven in this last album. Is like the Homewords, equivalent. It's like the similarities over there.
Yeah. 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 You're correct.
So if we can talk about, I have annotations to each song, two sentences to each one of them. The first song is Around the Sun. That for me is like a statement for me, for
Yeah.
the sound that they were gonna make in this album, like in the next songs. And I have to highlight like how amazing, but it's just not in this song, in the whole album. It's
Yeah.
amazing how they combine both voices, like the Dimitri voice, and I don't know if it's Elisabetta voice. I don't know if
Um,
it's her or Alina. I don't know.
yeah, the thing is now I think they are trio. They don't have
Yeah,
her in the band anymore. And I think that's also the fascinating part of the album that, as you mentioned, there is this duality of male and female voices that makes it very special.
yeah, and as I said, it's like I feel like it sounds, or it represents, this song represents like a statement. It's like it's a really good overall intro because it makes you know what are you going to get through the album. You know what you are
Exactly.
gonna listen.
It's very joyful, sparkly.
Yeah.
Um, that's you in the right mood. I agree with you.
And like the next song is amazing for me. It's my favorite one of the album. May. May for me is my favorite album. I
I
mean the
also
first song.
love this song. It has this vibe of, being young, being in love, and it's the beginning of summer, days get longer and the sun is shining and everything is perfect
Yeah,
in your
in this song and overall in this album, like they have that dreamy vibe that for me it could be this album could be like a soundtrack for some romantic anime or I don't know,
yeah.
or for some romantic film like when like to the super to the main characters are young people because it represents really well that feeling to being in love when you are really young and
Yeah.
sparkling and as you say the sparkling and
Like
the heart melt.
butterflies in your stomach, this feeling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also in this song, like both voices are really combined and beautifully. Like it sounds really melancholic as well. And like for me, I have to say this personally, but when I hear the song and then the first there's like the part when they say in the beginning, in the earliest times of May. When I hear that, for me it's like I get goosebumps immediately because from that they go to something more even dreamy and beautiful. Like I don't know, I have no words for this song. Like it's one of my favorite ones. And also I didn't mention it, but I have
That's
I
beautiful.
have a fun fact about this that I was gonna ask. I mean, I was gonna talk about it later. But like I've been, well, I can show it to you. I don't mind. But I was, it was for me really difficult to find this CD. Like it was
It's
sold out.
very rare. It's
Yeah,
very, very rare.
it was
It's
sold out
very-
everywhere. And I had like I was like I'm a guy that I don't give up, and I asked the label, like I DM'd them, and they told me, well, I we have this last copy, and I said, well, okay, it doesn't matter. No, no, and they were like, well, I send it to you, and they send it, and that's it. Like I think I didn't even pay for it. Like they just sent it because I was like really big fan of Life on Venus. I was like I've been talking with them like several years ago. I don't know if you know this, but I have a different channel where I post covers for my of
Oh
my
no, I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah. And I
It's so
and I've been like covering every song that they made. And every time I post a video of it, I send them the link and they were like, like I was getting feedback about it and for me it's like amazing. They told me that when they are going here, like to Europe in general, like if they come to Spain, uh, I'm a big fan, and they told me to play some songs with them in a live concert. Imagine.
that's
I,
awesome.
yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, it's like they are like actually they are like so kind. So no, I don't know. They are. I wish they were
Feel
like
that.
my
I was going to mention
yeah.
that you really get this feeling from their songs that they have a lot of empathy.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of empathy for their listeners. It's in their music, it's in their lyrics. And I don't know them personally, but when I listen, especially to Dmitri's voice, how he's singing, or like when I read his interviews,
Yeah.
how he describes, the process of creating songs. I just get this feeling from him that he's a very kind person,
Nice. Yeah.
very empathic. It's like they love people, and you feel it. And that's
Yeah.
probably also part of why their music resonates with a lot of people, with a lot of shoegaze fans.
Mm-hmm.
Is you have this feeling someone like your good friend is giving you a
Yeah.
hug, and telling that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. He's like a teddy bear as well. I feel like that.
That's the general feeling I get from their music.
Mm-hmm. Sure. There's a song that is called Pale, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
that for me is like a really short song, but really amazing at the same time. That you can feel that it's like a fresh air song. I don't know if it works like for me like an interlude, but it sounds like kind of different of the previous songs, and it's like more even more happier, more optimistic, and it really feels like it really fits like with the vibe of the album. What do you think about this song?
What I was reading is that this was their first recorded song.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I read that somewhere that it's their first recorded song, and it's almost like you want to dance. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
that's
It's like it has more rhythm. It's more happy, if we could say that. And
it's
it's
definitely a happy song. I mean, it's a beautiful song
mhm.
to be recorded as the first in this album.
And I guess this song, it was like the first idea, but they like had a different concept for the album because the album is like more finding or doing trying to to get the love of your life or your young love and the sparkles and everything. And this song feels like I finally get that. I finally get that love, and I'm really happy, and I want to sing about it. It's amazing. There's another song called Her Hands Are Weak. That there is a song that I was not really familiar with because it's been a long time without even listening to this song. But for me, like fits the whole vibe of the album as well. And I love.
Yeah, there,
Yeah,
do you
sorry.
know, sorry for interrupting, do you know the story behind this song?
Actually, no.
Yeah, so this song was inspired by a stranger Dmitri saw in subway. He
Wow.
saw a woman um, who, as he described, had physical disability
Mm-hmm.
with both of her hands. And despite that, this woman was talking on the phone. She was smiling. She looked very happy. And he was so inspired by what he has seen. He wrote this song. I even like made copied a quote from his interview. He said, "The beauty of her inner spirit must be one of the most inspiring things I've ever seen. We must never underestimate our chance to live."
Yeah,
And
totally.
if you listen to this song, knowing the background of this story, you really feel it. It's chilling in a beautiful way.
And knowing the story now, and in the fact that the lyrics of this song are like three sentences and all the stuff, that's it.
Exactly. Yes.
Makes that like it makes it more beautiful. This song for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
The song is amazing. And then there is another song in this album. Well, we talked about before about the two other songs, and there is a song called Cloverfields, if I'm
Yeah.
not wrong. For me,
Yes.
amazing, beautiful, dreamy, and cute song. That is probably one of my favorite of this album because of the melodies and and the shoegazy guitar solo that is in the background. And for me, it's like a really cute song. For me, it's like this song maybe describes the best like the cuteness and the um, dreamy vibes that this album has.
Yeah. So there's also a story behind this
Wow. Okay.
song.
Okay. Tell me.
Yes, so I read an interview where Dmitry said that this idea came from different memories and dreams that are from his and his brother's wonderful childhood. And when
Mhm.
I read that, I felt so warm,
Yeah.
filled with warmth. I mean, it's amazing when you have a nice childhood and you have those warm memories that you
Yeah.
can convey into a beautiful song. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's amazing. And you feel this in Cloverfields is like this early days of summer,
Hmm.
when maybe you're as a child, you're looking for a clover that has four leaves, that's the sign of luck. I immediately imagine that.
Yeah. 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 Such a beautiful song, and knowing the story now, like it makes it more beautiful. Like
Yeah.
wow, amazing. Thank you for all the story background that I don't even know. Like I really appreciate it. There is a song as well called Secrets that for me is like such an amazing dreamy song as well.
Yeah.
That again with just four sentences of lyrics, they created one of the most melancholic, atmospheric, and beautiful songs of the discography. That's my opinion in it. And I don't know if there is a background story of this song as well, but What do you think about the song as well?
I don't know the exact background of this story because I think I haven't came across it, but I totally agree that it goes in the line of the whole album wife being, dreamy and filled
Hmm.
with light.
Yeah, totally. There's a song as well called Shine, that for me is wow. This song is amazing, and it reminds me a lot of the song May in the same album, because of the melodies and the combination of both beautiful voices. And that's something that we discussed before, but like I love how the main essence, we can say it, of this album is like they can blend and combine those two beautiful and different voices at the same time. That lately I've been, I don't know if you have seen them in YouTube videos when they play live concerts. They are when this girl, this ex vocalist was in the band as well. They made it in, they made a really good job, and it really feels even better that listening to them in a live concert than even in the album, because you can see them like singing their song parts, and it's really beautiful like how they combine both voices.
So what I know is that Shine is one of the oldest songs of Life on Venus that Dmitri had in his head like years before,
Hmm.
I think in his back when he was at school.
Yeah,
And for this album, he could finally, come up with the finished idea. So maybe look at this song as something that started, um, or that was initial sound of Life on Venus.
that's amazing. This song is great, and the last one that I have to talk about it, for me, one of my favorite ones after May is called Rosetta. Such an
Yeah.
amazing, beautiful, dreamy song, as I said. And actually, these songs, as I said, this song sounds even better live, like in a live concert. When I saw some YouTube videos, and when they were playing this song, like live at their beginnings, and like for me, it's like a beautiful song as well, because it's the one after May that I've been listening the most when I'm in a sad mood, if we can say that. And for me, like I have a lot of beautiful and at the same time sad memories think when I think about this song, and it's the one of my favorite ones of their discography as well.
Um, I don't know if you know this, but this song is dedicated or named after a spacecraft which was called Rosetta,
I didn't know.
crash landed on a comet. And to me, it's also maybe a beautiful reference to Souvlaki space station.
Yes, yes, I didn't know that, but that makes sense a lot. Like so ethereal, so experimental.
Like
Yeah.
the space theme ending on this album. It's a nice idea to end an album with a song like that.
Yeah, and actually that vibe of that spacey vibe, you can feel it as well in the song that the most recent one called Gravity. That is my favorite one from
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the EP, the last EP. I forgot it. I forgot the name.
Negatives, I
Yeah,
think.
Negatives. And it has as well that spice. I mean, a spice. No, a spacey
Hey,
vibe.
yeah, it does. It does.
And yeah, that's amazing. That's an amazing song. And let me see, because I have some annotations as well. Well, as I said, I want to have light, highlight this before going to the next release. I want to highlight, how marked the sound in this album regarding production and sounds as well, and also highlight the lyrics, as you said. You can talk more about it if you want, about the lyrics.
Yeah. In general, I want to say that this album is probably one of their most joyful and happy in their discography. It's
Hmm.
very optimistic, there is a lot of like I love you vibes from this, lots of lyrics about loving and longing.
Hmm.
Also, there's timeless topics, or nice childhood memories. It's all in all this nice, very pinky candy
Yeah, sweet, optimistic.
way, in a good way. And it's interesting that when they are talking about this album, they describe it as noise pop.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think of it like when I first listened to this, I didn't perceive it as a noise pop. And I think it's curious. But yeah, it's definitely um, it's not that heavy as what comes after.
Yeah, and also this one, I don't know if I'm right, but it was the first physical release that they made. Like I showed it
Mhm.
before, but you know, like it was with Shelf Life that I don't know if they were going to work later. That we are gonna discuss it right now. And you know, like next in 2018, if I'm not wrong, they released the first single that we discussed before. Uh, that it was like first version of the song that it was gonna be on Odes to the Void, and
Right.
we're talking about For the Kill. That I think that is the most important song of them, in my opinion, and definitely one of my favorite songs on their discography. As I said, as I will repeat that that was the first song that I listened to of them, you know, the band, and I told it before, but you know, I discovered this song listening to a shoegaze compilation, and that's amazing because it was like the first song of the compilation, and then I was doing the research, listening to the whole album. That for me, the first album that I listened to is Old Still Boy, that we're going to talk about it right now.
Mhm.
And you know, it's like talking about this song. You can tell me your thoughts about it as well. But for me, it's like the it has this dark vibe and
Very.
really ethereal at the same time, really atmospheric. For me, if I have to, you know, define this song in a sentence, it's a song that you can listen to when you are driving in 3 a.m. No.
Yeah, when I was checking their Bandcamp page,
Mm-hmm.
I came across few interesting comments on it. And someone wrote that this song reminds me, I'm quoting,
Yeah,
reminds me of memories I never had.
totally.
And I think it's a perfect description, not just for this song, but for the entire Life on Venus discography. I think they've
Mm-hmm.
managed to create this feeling of memories, like very distant memories.
Yeah,
They are not your own, but you have a feeling they belong to you, and that's amazing. I think if you
yeah,
can create this effect with music, you achieved something.
yeah. That not any like not like every other band has achieved, I guess. For me, at
Yeah,
least. Like
exactly.
like with this song, that I have to, you know, say something that for me, like in the production on this single, like the first version of the single, for me it sounds like maybe worse than Encounters. Maybe they were like discovering or experimenting with production on this stage of Life on Venus, and I don't get or I don't even like this type of production. But you know, it was the first version of the song that was gonna be released later, so I have to appreciate it. But you know, it even sounds like in terms of production, it sounds like maybe worse or not as good as Encounters, maybe.
It sounds a little bit muddy,
Yeah,
probably like has the feeling it's a demo of, just a band who's
it
starting
sounds
out.
lo-fi. Yeah.
Yeah, and I read some online critics about that. But I think that was the intention. I don't know the story, but
Hmm.
I think that they intended to sound it like that. So I take it as, part of the story.
Yeah, we can
I
say that.
personally don't mind the muddiness, but I
Hmm.
can see why it's disturbing to other people. But I think it fits to the vibe of this album because,
Hmm.
it's really this dark and like, I don't know, foggy.
Yeah,
I
that
imagine
lo-fi vibes match
foggy
very well.
landscape. Yeah, exactly. It fits to that, in my opinion.
Yeah, so we can move on, you know, to 2019 because they
Yeah.
released their EP called Departures. There is also like the second physical release that they just released in a cassette copy that I don't have. I mean, I cannot even find it. And this is an EP with 4 songs, and well, in this EP they got like really, you know, darker and even more atmospheric. Even some songs
That's
like they have better production. And we can talk about the track list because it's 4 songs. We talked before about For the Kill, so we don't mention it here. But there's another 3 songs. First of the list, of the track list, there's the song called What Lies Beneath. That for me, I have to be honest on this. You know, for me is the least or one of the least favorites for me in the discography. Maybe we can discuss about it, but for me it's like the song that I usually not skip, but I usually like don't enjoy a lot listen to it. And
Yeah.
yeah, what do you think about the song personally?
Generally, about this EP, in an interview, I think Dmitry told that all of the, like, not just him, but all of the members of the band, they have experienced different issues
Mm-hmm.
and situations.
Yeah.
That's where the EP is coming from, and you feel this heavy mood in there. It's darkness.
Mm-hmm.
It's very moody. It's like this gothic vibes. Even
Yeah.
that this is not typical to life on Venus, as you know them from Encounters, where everything is so shiny, and
Yeah.
I can understand why it didn't resonate with some fans. But as a person, like, let's say as a teenager, I really like these dark themes, this
Mm-hmm.
moodiness. I could say that I liked I liked the lyrics,
Yeah.
because in What Lies Beneath, the lyrics are quite, um, well, I wouldn't say dark, but at some point he sings like, I clench my fists,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's the mood.
That was something that I want. I was saying like that I don't like the song, but something that I have annotated here that I wanted to highlight is the lyrics, and also the bass, the bass sound, that it sounds like really crunchy and really moody, as you said. And and I have to highlight as well how they experimented with the sound and how daring this song is as well.
Yeah.
Like it's something daring, so people can like it, or even maybe not hate it but don't like it as much. And there is a song that is one of my favorite ones of their discography as well. It's called Silver Screen. That for
Yeah.
me, I love that the fact that this one is, I think, is the first one, if I'm not wrong, that is like really slow, really ethereal, really like I don't know. In this version, I always prefer the old Studio Boy version, but it's like it's really atmospheric, melancholic, and it's like it feels that they were like struggling in this stage of their lives, maybe. And this song gives me like a lot of goosebumps when I listen to it nowadays.
Yeah,
And
literally there are lyrics that say, chills, running down my spine, and it is.
this song also, with What Lies Beneath, these 2 songs, they played it like lately in concert that they recorded like more professional, that they posted on YouTube, that it was in Flanger Studio, if I'm not wrong. And they played this song as well, and What Lies Beneath. And with when you see the video that they recorded, with everything like the TV like almost broken, with every I don't know the word, but everything like sounding so noisy.
I actually used that clip for my reel on Instagram
Yeah.
when I was telling about the band. It was exactly this clip with broken TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's really noisy, really, I don't know, atmospheric. No, I don't know. That song is amazing, and in that exact live concert in Flanger Studio, like I feel like that's one of the best live recordings I ever seen. Like the voice of Dimitri in this song, and the melodies of the guitar and the bass. That is like the main instrument, I guess, in this song. The bass, like the bass lines, like doing all the stuff. That it's amazing. The song is great, I have to say. And finally, in this CP, there is something curious, that they made a cover, the first cover I think they have in the entire discography.
Probably the first and the only
The
one,
only.
far as I know. Yeah.
And it's great, but as you say something like it's really important, that is it has like this gothic vibe, and they achieve this with this cover that is like a post-punk song. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think in general with For the Kill, they really introduced post-punk sound
Mm-hmm.
to their music. And
Yeah.
when I heard, and this was the first song I heard, when I heard this, I was like, wow, this, I even didn't relate them to shoegaze that much. For me, they were like a post-punk band.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Somehow
Totally.
I think it's like 80s music,
Mm-hmm.
it has this feeling.
Alternative rock,
And
post-punk, all
I,
that vibe.
I, I mean, of course, in the very beginning, I even had no idea they were Russian.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Same.
I just, this sounds very 80s post-punk.
Yeah. And
I imagine how surprised I was to discover everything else from their discography and find out they're actually a shoegaze band.
yeah. And also it's crazy because the song is called Girls, if I'm not wrong, and it's covered by the original band. It's called Phones of Love, and I really love that they did this, and I think they did this because they were thinking that they were gonna release a physical copy of it. It feels like that. It feels like, well, I have these three songs, and then I'm gonna introduce this that it doesn't make, well, for me it has sense, but maybe you can say that it doesn't have that whole vibe of the album, but it complements the whole vibe really well. It adds
Yes,
that
it does.
dark.
And it's a very, very good cover.
Yeah, actually, I prefer this than the original one. But like they make this EP even more darker, more atmospheric in that place. So that there is a song that is that for me even is my favorite one from this EP. Like I prefer this song than the other three in this EP. Later in Odes to the Void, I prefer For the Kill, Solo Screen, all the stuff. But for me, it doesn't. I don't really like that much these first versions of the songs, like the first demo, if we can say that. That it has like the original vibe, that dark vibe, that moody vibe. But for me, it's even better that the next version that they were gonna release. So moving for to 2019
Yeah.
as well, we reached to my favorite album of all time, like of all time. Odes to the Void, for me, like this album has everything that I need to make me feel better. This album heals me every time that I listen to it, and every song except While Lies Beneath, that I prefer this version as well, that I still don't like it that much, is different and heals me like no other music has ever healed me before.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I mean, this is their darkest album in their discography.
This is
Oh,
the love of my life. Like actually, it was for me like really
yes,
difficult. So
very dark. I don't have anything from them like in physical.
they're amazing, and that like this album, every time that I is this version, and every time that I listen to it, for me it's like feeling the same emotions that I was feeling the first time that I listened to it. That I think that some other album that I can feel the same can be So Lucky as well, because in that album I always say this, but about the song Allison. That's the main reason why my cat is called Allison.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
very cute.
My cat Ali. Well, I called her Ali. It's from Allison. That is from this song, and
That's great.
that So Lucky album is amazing. And there's a lot of songs there that for me are like great. My favorite song from that album, I can say, could be All Together. That it's a song that heals me and makes me cry a lot at the same time, because like I was like going through a lot several years ago, like 2 years or 3 years ago. I was like in the worst stage of my life, and I decided to to travel and go to Edinburgh, to UK. And I remember I was like sitting in I don't know how to say this, like the end of the mountain, like
Yeah.
the edge, yeah, like the
Sketch.
edge of the mountain. I was sitting there and listening to this song, like while I was looking at the
People.
yeah, when the sun was going down, I don't know the word right now. And
Sunset.
yeah, sunset, exactly, thank you. And I was listening at the same time to this song, and I was like crying for hours. Even the people that were around, like there's so many tourists recording, taking photos of the sunset. I was like, I feel that I was the only one person right there, and everything was like everything disappeared. And yeah, that's my story with that song. Like it healed me a lot in every stage, every bad stage of my life. And this album saved me, as I said. I always say that this album, the sadness music as well. Uh, Damian and all the projects, Sadness Life, Tra, and every project that he has saved me. Also with So Black by Slow Dive and Life on Venus as well. So I had to highlight it as well because So Black is like one of the best albums that I ever listened to, that I have in three different um, physical copies as well. But
Amazing.
that's amazing album as well.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you.
It's like it's like I cannot think about a better shoegaze album than that one. Like I don't know, but as I said, I'm sorry for moving to that part. Yeah. I don't know if I told you this, but like a long time ago, when I was going through this sad stage of my life, when I discovered this Odes to the Void album, I posted a video talking about it, and I remember named the video something like "This album saved my life," because it's true. Actually, I had been struggling really much in that stage of my life, and this album, I was like, I remember playing this album like every night because I wasn't able to sleep any day, and I remember like in my room, everything really dark, and putting this album from the start to the beginning. I mean, from the beginning to the end. And for me, it was like a healing album. Like I don't know. For me, I have no words about this album. I have more memories with this album than with maybe some people. Even I can say
Yeah, yeah,
I.
that's amazing.
It's amazing, this album. What do you think about this album, and how do you feel about the track list of this album as well?
To me, it's really, really dark. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is unusually dark.
It's kind of pessimistic, we can say, and it's like not as bright and sparkling as contraries.
Yeah, I mean, we can go just in generally through the lyrics, and you'll discover that it's as you said, pessimistic. Like in Start Tide, he thinks, "I'm never coming back,"
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And I'll stay in Midnight's Black.
Yeah, it's really dark, really pessimistic, and that's, you told me, they were going, like they
It's
were struggling.
this images of night, of dark, of fog. Like there are a lot of mentioning of gray and blue and black,
Mm-hmm.
create this really moody setting.
Yeah, that whole dark spectrum as well.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and like the first song, that is one of my favorites. I mean, this album has every song that I really enjoy, but Glass Gardens is, that's the most beautiful intro song that I ever listened in my entire life. Like it makes me, cry, tear up every time I listen to it. It's great because it's, I don't know if they released something like that, but it's a really long song. It's like 5 minutes and a half, if I'm not wrong, and it doesn't feel like that long. Like it's like a really beautiful song, beautiful chorus, beautiful melodies, and a beautiful outro. Like they end the song with the Elizabeth vocals, and makes me tear up like a lot. It's
Yeah.
like the whole song is like combining both voices, but at the end she's just singing that melody. Is great. Like it's beautiful. What do you think about this song?
I agree with you that it's a perfect opener for the album.
Mm-hmm.
And as I told you earlier, I really enjoy darker themes.
Yeah.
Um, but if we are talking the album in general, there are more the songs I like more
Mm-hmm.
than Glass Gardens.
Yeah.
Like if you just because we discussed already for the Kill or Silver Screen, like I'd go ahead and say that my favorite song on this album is The Night Is Young.
Yeah.
I really love the lyrics of
The
that
90s
song.
Young is incredible, and I will talk about it, and when we reach there. You talk about it even Startide, one of my maybe least favorites, but I really enjoy. For me, it's like this album is perfect for me, but there are some songs that I enjoy less, if we can say it. Like, I don't know. I still think that it has like a really beautiful melody and rhythm. It's like a song with a lot of light in it, and I also love the outro that is really chaotic. Like, for me, this song is really good, as not as good as the other songs that we are gonna talk about it later. Because for me, the second part of the album is even better than the first one.
Yeah,
And yeah,
I agree with you about that. Yeah.
what do you think about this song? You agree that for is the least favorite of this album for you, or what do you think about this song?
Um, yeah, I wouldn't say it's the least favorite,
Mm-hmm.
but I also wouldn't say like it's the song I, play over and over
Yeah, same
like,
here.
like that.
Mm-hmm. Amazing song, but we have another amazing song right here that heals me a lot, called "A Story Ends." That is amazing. For me, makes me feel like I'm on the air, like levitating with the song without every weight on me. In general, for me, it's like a beautiful song. I don't know what do you think about this song "Story Ends." If it has, if you feel the same that I feel in this song.
Well, to me, it's kind of a, I don't know if everyone sees what I see, but somehow I have a feeling it's about death.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy song.
Yeah.
Um, when it says my mind begins to fade and I'll disappear into the night, I instantly somehow have these dark images. But I enjoy listening to it.
Yeah, it's an amazing song, and it has, as you say, like that death vibes and that progression, to that state. And then we have Silver Screen that we actually discussed it before. And for me, in this album, it has like the better production, better even arrangements. Because if I'm not wrong, the first version of this song was different in the intro as well. It has, and in the Departures EP, it has like a different intro, and in this one, it has like something more noisy, more progressive, to something more, and it reaches to that beginning of the song, that slow beginning, and it has like that arrangements, that experimental electronic arrangements in the beginning. And overall, it's for me 100% times better than the Departures version. But for me, as I said, this is an amazing song. What do you think about this song? We discussed it earlier, but I don't know if your opinion changed it in this Odes to the Void album as well.
Um, Probably you're right about production. In terms of production, definitely sounds better.
Mm-hmm.
But as I told you before, I kind of liked the EP for this
Yeah.
dark mood.
Mm-hmm.
And I already liked that song on the EP. So seeing this as a part of the whole story in the album was definitely a right thing for the band to do.
Yeah,
I
I actually don't know what they were like, because they released the Porto CP, and then they released this Odes to the Void album. I don't know if they wanted to re-record or reproduction, make the reproduction of these songs and release them like in a better version. But I don't know. It feels like an evolution of those songs. I don't know.
Mhm.
But you can decide like which version you choose, and that's totally like personal. But I feel like they haven't done this, and well, yeah, they done this in the first debut EP, that they released 2 songs and then put them in the Encounters album. I think that's the, I don't know. I don't know them personally, as I said, but if I have to say something about it, I think that they released it the first version to to know if the audience was gonna like the direction that they were going through later, and then they released the better, I quote, better version.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's just what bands they just put their music out there for fans to enjoy who have been, waiting for the new stuff, have been asking for it. And I personally don't mind it to get new music from the band I love, the from the band I follow. It's
Hmm.
if I'm a diehard fan, I just, will eat it up, so to
Yeah,
say.
same
You
here.
know.
Yeah, yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that's right. You mentioned it, and you have to tell me more about it because for me, I don't have a lot to say about this song. The night is young.
Well, I think it's the only joyful or like lighter, lyrically lighter
Yeah,
song on the album, and
it's
I
more
like
optimistic.
very yeah, it sounds nostalgic. I like this, like the night is young and so are we. I
Mm,
think it sounds very beautiful. It sounds um hopeful, that
totally.
aren't going into complete darkness, that there is some light, there. And he says, like, my heart is full of love, and I'm like, okay, everything is good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like they
There are
still.
pretty dark and heavy, and
Yeah,
you kind of start worrying.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally. And
They're okay.
yeah, it has like that dreamy vibe from Encounters. I feel that this song is the most Encounters song in this album.
Right. You're right. Yeah.
It has that optimistic vibe, and
Yeah.
and it's crazy because they in the track list is this song that is really dreamy and really beautiful, really optimistic, really lovely or whatever. And then there is a song that is one of my favorite songs of all time called Darker Than Blue. That
Okay.
that for
Interesting.
me, yeah, yeah. Tell me, sorry.
No, no, it's interesting. You tell me why it's your favorite
Yeah,
song.
it's one of my favorite songs ever. Like this one and Phantasm that we are gonna talk about it later. But this for me, this the song "The Night Is Young" for me it works like kind of I don't know how to say it. It's not an interlude, but it's some song that separates the first part of the album and the second part, because this second part is even darker. Like it's really chaotic, even in the end. That we are gonna talk about it later. But this song "Darker Than Blue" is like for me, it's like really similar. We can say to the song "For the Kill." It has that maybe that exactly or similar vibe, but for me it's like a really even better. For me, I prefer this one over For the Kill. We can discuss it about it.
Okay. That's
But
interesting.
for me, it has everything that I need: beautiful vibe, beautiful melodies, amazing lyrics. For me, overall, it's amazing, and I have no words to explain it. And when I when I listen to the chorus of this song, no, I don't know, like I think that this is the song. I don't have it, the lyrics right here, but it says something like "Follow my moves, don't make a sound. We will escape and we never get found," or something like that. And it's like really beautiful.
Actually, I could have a look at the lyrics because yeah, yeah, you're right. Follow my moves, don't make a sound. Darker than blue, darker than black. That's what I was talking earlier. There's a lot of mentioning of these colors that sets us in a darker mood on this album.
Yeah, and this one marks for me, like I said, the second part, like the darker vibe, because in the first part we can say is more lightly. Maybe there are some songs that they make they create that light on the dark part of the album, but the second part is like even more darker than the first one.
It is, yeah.
So as we said, after this one is in the song "What Lies Beneath," that actually talking about production and talking about even in general sound of the band is like quite heavy. We can say it. It's like more heavy than the other stuff that they have. This song in this album has better production, and for me, this songs works better in this part of the album than in the part to CP. That's my honest opinion about it. Because for me, the production here is more even dark than in the other one. And finally, we reached to the two final songs of this album. Firstly, Phantasm, the for me is one again, I have to say that it's one of my favorite songs of their discography. This song made me cry every time that I listen to it. The melodies, the slowness, because this song is slow as well. And one sentence that makes me cry every time that I read it and I listen to it. Uh, there is some, I quote it, and the steam is blurring its lines to expose you. For me, it's like really beautiful line. Like it makes me cry. I don't know. For me, it's like romantic line. We can say it. And it's really, really beautiful. It makes me feel a lot. I cry with it, but at the same time, it heals me. That is something that I told you before, like yesterday, that this album, at the same time that makes me feel like crying all the time, at the same time is healing me. Like it's something for me. This album is the best representation as something that we said before, that this band is like a hug, or is like music to cuddle with, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, being in the state you mentioned, being in this dark place, you can relate because this album is exactly about that. It's about being in some dark place, some stage of your life where where you're struggling. And it's exactly like a friend coming to you and saying, "Hey, I feel you. I
Totally.
feel you." So you can relate together, and that's why probably it feels healing.
Yeah, this album in general, and the final song for me, that songs, probably you have one of those in your mind right now when I tell you this, but there are some songs that you actually play when you're in the worst stage of your life, or in that moment you are like in a really sad mood. And humans, we are like, I don't know why we are like that, but we listen to more sad music when we are in the worst stage of our lives.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
for me, Radiohead. That's
Yeah.
the best where, well, probably I would talk about Radiohead like you're talking about Life on Venus. I listened um to their albums, and particularly Kid A and
Yeah.
Amnesiac, when I was like you in the darkest space at the darkest time of my life. And Radiohead songs are
Yeah, same here. I can relate to you. There is a song from Radiohead that I usually played like a lot when I was in the worst mood of my life. Last Flowers.
yeah, yeah.
For me, that piano melody and the voice of this guy, like, I don't know, that song means a lot to me. Even like Karma Police as well. It's a song that maybe it's not sad per se, but when I listen to it, I feel really embraced, or I don't know, it makes me feel better in that sad mood.
Yeah, it kind of amplifies, your sadness. It amplifies this dark feelings you have. And I mean, maybe a professional like a psychotherapist would have an explanation for this, but I think it's a really healing experience when you're in this state and you listen to music that, in a way, makes it
Hmm.
worse, but at the same
At the same
time,
time, it kills you.
makes
It's
you
like, yeah,
feel
yeah, yeah,
better. It's amazing power.
yeah. It has that dualism, if we can say it. This song that I'm going to talk about, that this is the last song of this album, At the Point of No Return. For me, I don't know if it's because I had that sadness, this project, no, like, um, like in my before, like I was listening to a lot of sadness before, and for me it was like that. I knew what type of song was gonna heal me in that moment. But for me, this song, At the Point of No Return, is like the best outro I have ever listened in my entire life to an album. And it's crazy because some albums has their that pessimistic and sad and dark sound, but when you reach to the end, there is a song that is more optimistic, or I don't know, maybe it makes you feel better. But in this album makes me feel even worse. Like it's
Exactly, because it says you're at the point of no return. It's like there is nothing left to burn, like it's so hopeless.
yeah. And this song, how the production chaotic it is, how this song is something like is really calm at the beginning and then reaches to something like really chaotic. For me, it's like the best definition of a mental breakdown. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
It is
really
a
chaotic.
breakdown, a burnout. You can call it a burnout because he is literally saying there is nothing left to burn.
Yeah, and the lines when I always read to that lines like misery has pierced my heart and now is painted blue. It ignites, but there is nothing left to burn. That's the most thing that I can relate to. Like when I'm in that bad mood, that's the line that for me is like it represents me more in that moment. Like
Right.
it's crazy. Like I always play this song when I have like this mental breakdown, burned out situation, and I feel kind of, as you said before, like, hey, you are not alone. I feel the same. This exactly the same way. So for me, this song is like healing and really dangerous, like talking about mental health at the same time for me.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoy it. For me, as I said, my favorite album of all time, and that's the first vinyl, if I'm not wrong, that they ever released it. And for me it was as also that within countries for me was really difficult to get that physical copy. I'm a really musical fan of physical copies. I have like hundreds and at home, and that's something that I always discuss, and I want to know your opinion about it. But for me, physical copies is like a way to finally uh, give a hug or embrace the songs and the music that you actually listen to, like in a
You're
physical.
totally right. You're absolutely right. I think physical music is a way for us to attach, it's the bond is stronger, so to say. When music is physical, it's a completely different experience. It just makes it so much more worthy,
Hmm.
and it also sets a nice contrast to the digital, how music became digital and how we lost really touch with the music we listen. It's just
Totally.
like clicking the buttons, on your streaming service, and
Yeah.
owning a physical copy is, yeah, it's just this physical presence of it. It makes a huge difference. You also feel more connected to the band, you're listening to, or the artist you're listening to.
Yeah, that's totally right. And when I'm just thinking about it, when the first time that I finally got, in my physical collection, that old Studio Boyd album in a vinyl copy, the first thing that I did, I'm not lying, I was alone at home, I remember, and when I got it, I literally hugged it, like
Oh, that's
literally. And when I think about it, it makes me want to to cry, and but more right now is not more, not just not like in a sad way. Like I'm talking about crying because of the happiness that made me feel getting this album finally for myself, and to be able to finally give a hug in real life to this album. Like
that's very beautiful.
I don't know. If I keep thinking about it, I will be like I will break down. So I will keep going. and, and we moved to 2008, 2020, because in I didn't know until I do some research in Bandcamp that they released this. We talk about it later. I mean later, no, earlier. And the Flanger Studio live concert. They made like 4 songs: While Lies Beneath, if I'm not wrong, Rosetta, May, and Silver Screen. That we talked about it before, and it's amazing how they just not make the sound really sound more professional. We can say it very production in that live concert, and overall, like that, the experience of just watching it, like it's like it represents really well the vibe of the band. What do you think about
Yeah,
this live concert that they made? Have you
I
seen it?
love it. I absolutely love it. It's just one of my favorite live concerts. I wouldn't say ever, but from shoegaze live concerts, I
Sure.
really love. Yeah.
And it's crazy because they did this like for no audience. It was just like in a studio they recorded. Like I don't know if you have seen the maybe the slow dive KXP, it's called.
Yeah.
It's like that type of recording, like more professional in a studio with that vibe. But it's crazy that they match the vibe of the band with all the broken TVs, everything really gray and dark, like, and the blue colors all around them. Like, it's amazing. That
Just like always, it's a different vibe.
Yeah,
It's also new ways of exploring the sound of your favorite band because often um, it's even better, you know. Sometimes
yeah, yeah, totally.
I don't connect with a certain band or an artist when I'm listening to it, but when I see them live, I'm like, wow,
Yeah, it's a totally different experience. You're right.
exactly.
You're totally right. In the same year, they actually released a single. Well, they released two singles that they were not gonna be part of any album. They were like just singles separately, and one of them is one of my favorite songs of all time, like in general, and it's called "It's Alright." For me, that's
Yeah.
the best definition of a song that heals you. Like, that's the song that actually Dimitri in the lyrics said it's alright, it's totally fine that you're feeling that way, and it's for me like optimistic and keep going or keep carrying on, right, song. And for me, it's like the beautiful chorus, the melodies, the lyrics, in fact. um and fun fact, I actually listen to this song when I feel kind of confused or overwhelmed in kind of way, or pessimistic even, because for me it's like therapy. For me, this song is like someone telling you that you have to keep going in life, you have to carry on, and and it's okay that you feel that way, but you have to keep going. For me, this song is like that representation. I don't know, how do you
Yeah,
feel
it's
about it?
like a psychotherapy,
Yeah, yeah,
like a
totally.
therapy.
How do you feel about this song? Do you feel that of these two singles that they released is the best one? Which one do you prefer?
Well, in general, I'm a little confused when I hear just singles that aren't part of an album or an EP because I prefer albums
Yeah,
just because of the whole
if
picture I'm seeing about the whole
concept.
context.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I like a story. It's like a storytelling. So while I enjoy these songs, it's difficult, for me to relate to them
yeah,
in a way.
yeah, yeah, totally. Because in at the same time, these songs doesn't fit for me to any album. Like, it's like different concept, different vibes. It's like, I think that they just wanted to release this like to people they want to enjoy, because these songs, even it's
Yeah.
alright, it's not really uh known in general. Like, it doesn't have like a lot of audience, this song. Maybe that's because it doesn't, as you said, it's not part of an album per se.
Hmm.
I don't know. I really
Yeah.
like this one. I don't know. And the other one, Everything Ends, is really different. I really enjoy this song. Like, it has this same dynamic, to be released as a single, but at the same time, it's really different. It's dreamy, beautiful, and for me, it matches really well with the single. At the same time, even there are different vibes. For me, I really think that they match really well together. And I don't know if you feel this way when I listen to this song.
I feel the same way as you. I totally agree with you.
That's amazing. When I listen to it, for me, I see myself in an apocalyptic world, but I'm the only one who is alive, and talking about in a physical state and mental state, and I'm trying to stay alive, and I carry on because of this song. Like, this song is like really for me, it has that apocalyptic vibe, but at the same time, it's really optimistic. I don't know. I really enjoy this song a lot.
I mean, it also was released at the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Let me check. Yeah, the Bandcamp says it was on 25th of December. So maybe was this mood, end of the year mood.
Yeah, and also
And
makes sense of the title. Everything ends here. Actually, everything, even the year. So,
yeah, exactly.
so that makes sense. So it's sad because we don't have any new music until 2022, when Life on Venus released the first single of their next release, called Stranger Times. A really amazing song.
Time. Right. I guess that's probably their second famous song after For the Kill. And I actually don't know why.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I don't know why. Actually, but they decided to keep sounding really dark. cold, ethereal, and dreamy at the same time. They have this song is amazing, like amazing chorus, guitar melodies. It is great. You told me before that is, if I'm not wrong, you say that is your one of your favorite songs by them. If I'm not wrong.
Stranger Times. No, funnily, it's
No.
not.
Okay. My bad. My bad. I
mean,
forgot.
I think this song is great.
Yeah.
It's a banger in those classical terms. Like its repetitiveness, it's just like an earworm. You listen it one time, and somehow it stays,
Yeah.
and you just keep playing it over and over in your head. And probably, yeah, that was wise to release it as a single because it ended up being one of their most famous songs in all those, playlists on Spotify, shoegaze playlists, and so on. But my favorite song is other one from this album.
That we are gonna talk about it. I guess is this one in the same year they decided to release another single for the next release called Domoy, if I'm not wrong, is the pronunciation?
Домой,
Domoy. My bad.
it's Russian word, and it exactly means homewards, going home, like in direction of home, and they called the whole album like that, homewards.
This beautiful song is beautiful in every aspect possible. It's the only one that they made in their native language in Russian, if I'm not wrong. Is the
Yes,
only one.
it's the only Russian song they made, and I'm thinking they should have made more, because they're, as I also mentioned earlier, their lyrics, they're very poetic. There is a lot of this
Yeah.
imagery that I think comes from a Russian poetry tradition, because Russian culture is very, it's famous for its poets. I mean, they're not as famous, outside of the world, because poetry is very difficult to
Yeah.
translate. It's very difficult to convey that imagery into other languages, but it works in Russian language and all, its complicity. It's something I think they're very good at writing lyrics.
Yeah.
While I think their English lyrics are beautiful, their Russian, like this song, it's unmatched. Like they truly shine.
Yeah.
They truly
I
show how
agree.
they write. Because in this song, they sing, and I think it's about love. I mean, I might be wrong, but it's addressed to a person you love.
Yeah.
And the imagery, I try maybe to translate a little bit, but it's like this dreamy landscape they created where well, I don't know how to translate, because it's really untranslatable.
Yeah.
It's there is in general there's a lot of water images, in their lyrics. There's like a lot of ocean and tides, and here you have that imagery too, and it's sunrise, that they sunrise, and a lot of wording comes from nature,
Yeah.
like snow or ocean. Yeah,
Yeah,
that kind of
maybe
thing.
using that landscapes to to make some similarities or metaphors for the feelings that they were wanted to express in that song as well.
Yeah, so I wish they did more songs in Russian in that way, because I mean I speak Russian, and I mean I actually studied all those poets at my literature class. We were even kind of forced to learn their
Yeah.
poems. So those are imprinted, in my brain, this type of poetry, this writing, this imagery. And when I heard it, I was like, wow, that's a new life on Venus. I discovered them like from a totally different point of view. And that's why
Yeah.
probably this is my favorite song on the album.
I can agree with it because like for me, lyrically speaking, this song, as you said, is the most I don't know how to say it, but the best talking about lyrically. And it's like really poetic song. The lyrics are really poetic. And for me, I feel that the fact that they actually write this song in Russian, for me, I think that that was better for them, talking about expressing your feelings and thoughts, because you can feel that way when you are, maybe when I'm talking when I'm talking in English, maybe I cannot explain the best way I wish I could explain, um, when I'm talking in Spanish, because in Spanish for me it's like really easy to express what I'm feeling, um, even writing wise, like I can feel it really, like it's better for me to write and speak in Spanish, so it's easier to me to express my feelings and all that stuff. So I can feel that for them it was like some kind of way to express what they wanted to express in the best way possible. So that's why
Yeah.
they choose writing the song in Russian, and that's amazing. I hope they make another song that is written in Russian as well, because you can feel how poetic and um, ambitious they can be in their songs as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you really feel that. You really feel um the school of Russian poetry behind the lyrics. It's amazing.
Totally, that's one of my favorite songs of the album as well. And so we had that two first releases, the two first singles, and then at the end of 2022, we finally had the new album, my second favorite of their discography, and one of the best
Mhm.
albums they ever listened to, Homewards. This album for me has everything. They have different vibes for each song. It doesn't match just a single vibe. And in terms of production, mastering, mixing, they sound as professional as possible. They did like a really good improvement in that terms. In overall, this album is maybe less dark than Odes to the Void, but at the same time combines, as we said and we talked about earlier, even yesterday. For me, it's like a really good combination of the sounds that they made in Encounters and the sounds that they made in Odes to the Void. It's like a really good resume, or like as we talk about the Heaven, is like that combination of the older and the newer stuff, if we can say that. And for me, they combine it really well. The sweet melodies of Encounters and the darkness of Odes to the Void, and they blend for me those elements to create this masterpiece. And what do you think about this album in general before going to the track list?
In general, I think, well, Homewards, I see also like kind of a homecoming,
Mm-hmm.
homecoming for them in terms of going back to their more optimistic lyrics, to more of their optimistic sound. Because let's look at the year it was released. It was 2022, and maybe pandemics is behind,
Mm-hmm. Can feel it.
but going situation in Russia and Ukraine. It's tough situation for everybody, um, and they write on Bandcamp page songs of hope and courage.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that probably refers to that
Situation. Yep.
difficult political situation. And homewards for them is like, no matter all of what's happening, they're trying to stay strong.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing their music as best as they can. And I see this album as like they're coming back, to their lighter
Mm-hmm.
songwriting, like coming back from the heaviness of the previous album. And as you said, it's a perfect blend of what we've heard before from them.
Maybe as you said, because of that situation, that makes it really sense. Like for me, it has make a lot of sense, and maybe that's the reason. And it has make a lot of sense as well that they actually decided to put some light in this album, because to maybe to remark or to highlight the optimistic part of this album, to make you feel like more optimistic about that situation maybe, and even the your personal life in general.
Right.
That this album is amazing, and maybe we can do it as fast as possible. If you know,
Okay.
firstly, we have something different, a song called Forward, that for me works really well as an intro. For me, this song and the outro that is called Epilogue, if I'm not wrong. There's the
Epilogue, right?
those are the first songs that they just made like an instrumental part, and that's it, more electronic, more experimental, and for me it works really well, like this intro, this piano intro, and in the beginning, that all electronic experimental elements at the end of the album. This song is
Yeah, I think that, sorry to disturb you, like forward and epilogue. I think the wording of it, like not intro and outro, but it's like forward and epilogue refers, to literature, which sets us in the mood that this is going to be a storytelling,
mm-hmm.
and really, really like almost a cinematic touch to it.
Yeah, it makes really much sense. And then we have the song "You Will Be There," which for me works like the newer version of "Darker Than Blue." I don't know, I feel it that way, but at the same time has that
Might
encounter.
be right.
Yeah, and also has that encounters vibe. In terms of melodies and lyrics, it sounds like dark and light at the same time. For me, it's like the balance, of that term.
I think compared to the other song, this one is more optimistic,
Hmm.
lyrics wise, at least, because he says when it's dark, I will be there. So it's more
Totally,
encouraging.
and the romantic, and racing stuff. And there is like a song, my favorite one of this album, I have to say, "Camera Obscura." That
Absolutely. Yeah.
this song got really famous. It's like the for the kill for this album.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
that guitar work, the bass lines, sorry, the melodies, the chorus, the lyrics. This song for me is perfect in every sense. And as I said, it reminds me a lot
That
of like.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
Sorry, I was about to finish. Like as I said, it reminds me like a lot of For the Kill, but like a newer or an evolution of that song.
Yeah, I think this song represents them very well. So I did a playlist the other day for like Russian shoegaze playlist, and this was the song I included um, from the band
Yeah,
Come Up. It was exactly this one, as I think it represents them really good.
it's really good, and I don't know if you have seen it, but there's like a slower than revert version that it actually sounds even better than the original one. It's on YouTube. I recommend it.
Oh no, I haven't seen it. I should check it
It's
out.
it's amazing. Here is for me my least favorite song of Life on Venus that they ever made, for me, at least for me. "Speak to the Moon." I don't really enjoy a lot this song. Maybe because of the chorus. For me, it's like a little bit simple, maybe on comparing, to the rest of the music that they have made. And I have to highlight as well the guitar and bass work, because I don't really enjoy, the chorus a lot. For me, it's too simple. I don't know. This song, it doesn't really fit a lot into me. What do you think about this song?
To me, it's probably being lonely and missing home. This
Mm-hmm.
song, like you're somewhere, I don't know, maybe in a hotel room in a different city and it's night, and I don't know if you have this. I sometimes have this feeling like when I'm traveling and, the night sets in and everyone's asleep and you're just feeling weird,
Yeah, totally.
lonely, and you think, oh, like why I'm even here. I wish I was in my bed. So this song is, to me, it goes in this direction.
Mm-hmm. I haven't thought about that, perspective. There is a song already, one of my favorite songs, "Have Summer," Summer, that for me is
Mhm.
like a dreamy, ethereal, slow, and beautiful song. It's like the silver screen version on this album. But it's amazing for me. It's one of the best songs of this album. And next to
Yeah,
this,
very dreamy, yeah.
yeah, and next to this album, I mean, next to this song, there's also another song called "Deep Inside" that for me is like really sweet, beautiful, dreamy, ethereal, gloomy, and for me a healing song. It's amazing. What do you think about these songs in general?
I also I enjoy this both of them very much.
They're amazing. Like we have talked about the Stranger Times before, so we are gonna move to the next one. There's a song called "Somewhere in Between Us" that for me has the encounter vibes as well.
It does. It certainly does. Yeah.
And for me, I have to say something that maybe the chorus is quite simple, maybe, but the rest of the song is so dreamy and beautiful, and I love the progression to the chorus. Like the rest of the song, not talking about the chorus, the rest of the song, everything that is building up to the chorus, I love it. Like I really love every verse of the song.
Yeah.
And there's another song that is really different, has a really different vibe. Forever Young, a song that I actually enjoy the lyrics more than the actual song, because there is a line that will be stuck in my head like until the day that is say something like, "Remember, it's all in your head. Keep shining with no regrets." Like for me, it's like I want to get a tattoo of that sentence. It's amazing. I don't know, how do you think about this song?
No, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, there is also beauty in simplicity, you know.
That's totally
I
fun.
Sometimes it doesn't have to be too complicated to deliver a message.
Mm-hmm. Totally. This song is amazing as well. We talked about Damoy before, so we are gonna go into the final song called Epilogue that we discussed it before. It's mainly like a synth song, like it's really experimental, electronic, and for me it works like a really beautiful and amazing ending to an album. For me,
Yeah.
as we said, you talk about the literature part, of the intro and the outro working really well. And for me, it's one of the best outros ending I ever listened to.
Oh, that's nice.
That's amazing. And finally, and we are gonna do it fast so you have time for your stuff. In the discography, we have the new EP called Negatives with 4 new songs: Negatives, Monochrome, Here Comes the Sun, and Gravity. In this EP, for me, well, they decided to experiment a little bit more and their sound and with their sound and keep evolving. For me, this EP is amazing. And before going to the track list really fast, as I said, tell me a little bit about the EP.
So I loved it because I completely didn't expect this sound from them. They
Yeah.
was completely new and surprising in a good way because it's it got this abrasive, I would say a little bit even aggressive
Yeah,
sounds
totally.
and caught me off guard. Like, wow, is this life on Venus?
They sound really different in this one.
We don't know them like that. And this little bit glimpse into heaviness. And I'm anticipating maybe if the new album is coming out, it will be more in this direction. And that would be like totally amazing.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, if we look at the shoegaze tendencies, how the shoegaze is evolving nowadays, it's going it's getting heavier, so to
Mm-hmm.
say,
Yeah.
right? So we have a lot of shoegaze band going into, I know, grunge
Hmm.
sounds.
Slow crush, maybe we can say.
Yeah, if we look at all the bands that made that were big in 2025, those bands definitely had this heaviness in them, and I think it also makes sense, because we live in these times. The world is changing. There is so much dark.
Yeah,
We
totally.
have this dark page in the history,
Mm-hmm.
referring to all the events happening in the world. And I think shoegaze as a genre is trying to reflect that, to maybe express some anger with the state of things.
Yeah.
It's like Life on Venus catching up on that mood. I think it's great.
It's interesting. Like it's like an evolution of their sound, like applying everything that they have learned in the past to the newer sounds, new inspirations as well. That you can feel it, that there are a lot of new inspirations in this album. We talk about the album in general. We have to go to the track list, the 4 song track list that is really short. We have the first, Negatives, for me an ethereal, slow, dreamy song that reminds me a lot of like a blend of summer and camera obscura at the same time. Like I feel this album has like a lot of the past albums, like combined and evolving to a new sound. How do you think? What do you think about this song? And Negatives, you told me that is your favorite of this one, if I'm not wrong,
No, I
or it
like
was
monochrome.
Monochrome. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, negatives, it really starts with me like with this heavier than usual sound,
yeah,
and kind of sets me in the mood. And I'm thinking, wow, okay, like this is going to be,
yeah,
an interesting adventure. And I mean, it already sounds like negative.
yeah,
They're going to tap into that darker place again.
yeah. And it's great. Like the first that this song is the first one because it's like well, this each different song of this EP is really different. Like each one is really different vibes, and I love that the fact that they don't decided to make an unique, just a single sound for each four songs. Like every song sounds different, and like a blend or mix of the songs that they've been doing in the past. So it's like amazing. Then we have your favorite song that you have to do want if you want to talk about it more. That has that encounters vibes for me, but it's heavy at the same time. Like it mixes that elements. In this song, they decided to experiment more, in my opinion, and be more even technical, if we can say it. And that's something that I really appreciate. What do you think about
Yeah,
this song?
I like that it has those the heavy fuzz in it. That's definitely what you don't expect from
Yeah,
them.
that's a
And
surprise.
I think that's the part that is so surprising is what makes this song great to me. Like you see that they tried out something new and they weren't afraid to experiment, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people like them exactly for this dreaminess, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that it takes them to some far away nice places. And this song is just like brings you back to
Yeah,
earth, so to
yeah,
say.
it's really chaotic because it sounds it's but has that a heavy part and then really softer. Like it, I love the progression of this song.
Hmm.
It reaches the chaotic stuff and then the softer stuff, and then we have Here Comes the Sun, another dreamy, ethereal, and encounters vibe song, we can say. Such a great
Yeah, it
track.
is clear. Yeah.
Yeah, it has that atmosphere. I don't know. For me, it's such a great track, but as maybe I'm really critical about this, but I don't really enjoy the chorus that much as the rest of the song is it. For me, the track is really amazing in general, like the rest of the song. But when we reach to the chorus, maybe it's the guitar progression or whatever the melodies. I don't really enjoy it that much. Maybe it's the least favorite for me of this EP. I don't know.
You're probably right. Yeah. Because after the monochrome, you expect
Yeah,
like more of that sound coming. I agree.
yeah. And finally, for me, we have the best song on the EP, Gravity. Feels like a
My
silver screen evolution.
favorite.
It's my
It,
favorite, yeah.
yeah, right.
And it feels like a silver screen evolution, but it's even better, more noisy, and has one of the best choruses that they ever made for me. And in the second chorus, when they finish it, like it has the first chorus, the second one, and when they finish the second one, they make like a third one, but without vocals, and it adds like a lot of texture and a lot of, I don't know. For me, it's more dreamy, more beautiful, and with they're making the voice melodies with the guitars, and for me, this part, like exactly this part, gives me a lot of goosebumps, and every time that I listen to it, like I really enjoyed this amazing song. I don't know, what do you think about this?
Probably this gives us a hint. I hope it's a hint
I hope so.
that maybe they're working on some new music, which will be in this direction, and if it is going in this direction, then it's like, yeah, I'm here for it, you
Yeah, I'm
know.
here for it. We are waiting for it. And finally, before finishing this, I always ask this to everyone who comes here. I want to ask you. I know it's really difficult. You can say it briefly. It doesn't mind. Can you tell me your top three, five, or even 10 albums of all time for you?
Oh, 10. That would be so
You
difficult. I
you can
mean,
say
there are
three,
many.
five, or 10. It doesn't matter.
Um, well, there are the albums in shoegaze realm that I think they are holy grail is of course Souvlaki for
Mm-hmm.
me and My Bloody Valentine
Loveless.
Loveless. These
Mm-hmm.
are like holy grails. And if you're talking shoegaze, of course, that would be two Ver albums, Feels Like You,
Mm-hmm.
and it came out last year, Raw Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess there isn't any music I listened more than these two albums. Like not just last year, but generally, I think I was so obsessed. So these albums like would be my top picks for shoegaze. And of course, there are like out of shoegaze, there are many albums that shaped me or influenced me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in the past, I have been a diehard fan of The National.
Yeah.
So their album Boxer,
Mm-hmm.
it changed my life in a way. And definitely there would be Radiohead in there. I just cannot pick one
It's really
album.
difficult, right?
Yeah, but probably if we're talking like an album that changed like lives of many or influenced other bands, that would be probably OK
Okay,
Computer. It's
computer.
very controversial, but I'm
It's,
gonna say
it's, it's a really complete album. I really enjoy that album as well.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I have a lot of favorite albums, and like picking up like top is just
S-
heartbreaking. Like picking up your favorite child.
Yeah, it's really difficult, even when you have like 20 songs. So imagine.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, I
Yeah,
mean, I could talk about my favorite albums like forever, but yeah, those probably in general, if we are speaking about shoegaze, that's definitely Loveless and Souvlaki.
yeah, I can relate to that. Like, if I had to make that top three, top five, or whatever, I would say So Lucky by Slowdive, Also to the Void by Left Menus as well. I have to say Homogenic by Björk as well. That is
Oh
like
yeah,
one of my favorite albums of all time. I have to mention that any album of Sadness, maybe I have to say I Want to Be There. That's one my first experience with him, but I prefer other albums nowadays. And maybe Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park is one of my first experience in music in general. But I have a lot. Maybe The Cleansing by Suicide Silence, that is more deathcore and more metalcore and that vibe. But I really enjoyed that album as well, and and I really appreciate that you have shared your thoughts in every part of the discography of Life of Menus. I really hope that you feel comfortable. I'm really sorry to wasting all your this
no,
time.
no, no. I really enjoyed doing that. Actually, it's the first time someone is interviewing me, because it's usually me who is asking the
Okay.
questions. So this has been really unusual, but very interesting experience. And I'm really thankful that you invited me, because I could talk about music, for ages, and it's the favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think I have mostly friends that are into music. So yeah, it's my favorite thing.
Yeah, sharing thoughts about our music taste is the best experience ever, and I hope that you feel comfortable. And yeah, if we want to someday do another conversation talking about any other topic, I'm open to it.
Yeah, me too. I would love to do that. I
I really
really enjoy
I really
talking.
appreciate your time and the fact that you were here and you joined this conversation. And thank you really much, actually, for your time and your kindness and everything. I really appreciate talking with someone about my favorite band of all time. And
Yeah,
eh,
that's an amazing feeling, because I can relate to that. When you listen to this music and no one around is into it, and you have no one to talk to it, about it.
mhm.
And then suddenly you find people who feel the same, and then you feel seen. And I
Yeah,
think that's the feeling in the world.
totally, I agree. So as I said, thank you really much, and I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I see you soon, hopefully, in a new
Yeah.
conversation. Thank you really
That
much
was
for
great.
everything.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good day as well. Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye bye.